This is Dr. Panda.
Have you noticed? For thousands of years, we humans have done one strange thing: we keep changing our own bodies. From tattoos carved into skin, to feet bound in silk, to faces reshaped by surgeons and filters. Every culture calls it something different: beauty, purity, perfection. But the truth is darker. Every standard of beauty begins with control. Control of the body, and control of the people inside it. From emperors to influencers, someone has always told us what to look like, and we've obeyed even when it hurt. I'm Dr. Panda, and in this journey I want to understand why, after 5,000 years of pain and obsession, humans still can't stop trying to redesign themselves. Ancient controls, the origins of body modification. For thousands of years, humans have sought to reshape their own bodies, often in ways that seem extreme to modern eyes. Body modification was never purely cosmetic. It was a reflection of power, status, and the cultural ideals of the time. In ancient China, the practice of foot binding began among elite families. Tiny, curved feet were considered a symbol of beauty and refinement. But this beauty came at a terrible cost: broken bones, chronic pain, and a lifetime of restricted movement. Yet generations of women endured it, because to resist was to lose social standing and marriage prospects. The body had become a tool of societal control. Across the ancient world, other forms of modification carried similar weight. In Africa and Oceania, scarification and tattoos marked rites of passage, tribal identity, and courage. These patterns were not arbitrary. They communicated a person's rank, accomplishments, and allegiance. To alter the body was to declare oneself part of a system larger than the individual. In Egypt, cosmetics were deeply symbolic. Both men and women applied kohl to their eyes, not just for fashion, but as a ritual of protection and divine association. Hairstyles, headdresses, and painted faces reinforced the wearer's status and connected them to gods or ancestors. The body became a canvas for belief and hierarchy. Even in the Americas, body modification played a significant role. The Mayans and Aztecs shaped skulls, filed teeth, and painted their bodies to signify nobility, spiritual power, or readiness for war. Every cut, color, or deformation communicated meaning, a language written in flesh. What links these practices across continents is not just the desire to look different, but the human need to align the body with society's expectations. Pain and sacrifice were often central, proving one's obedience or loyalty. In every case, beauty was inseparable from control of the body, and control over the individual within a cultural system. As we explore the history of beauty, we see that these ancient modifications were more than aesthetic choices. They were the first hints of a deeper truth. Across civilizations, rulers and elites would soon learn to shape not only their own bodies, but the bodies of others, using beauty as a tool of power and control. By the time civilizations grew into empires, beauty was no longer just a personal or tribal matter. It became a tool of power, a way for rulers to assert control over their subjects, and for societies to communicate status, obedience, and hierarchy. Across the globe, empires learned that controlling the body could also control the mind. In Europe, royal courts dictated fashion and appearance with an almost obsessive intensity. During the Renaissance, the nobility's elaborate hairstyles, corsets, and makeup were not merely for aesthetics. They defined who belonged to the elite, who could marry whom, and who could hold influence. Every garment and ornament signaled rank and compliance. The body became a visible instrument of social order. Farther east, the imperial courts of China and Japan codified beauty into strict rules. In Ming Dynasty China, women's bound feet were not just a cultural preference, but a statement of family loyalty and social aspiration. The emperor's court set the standards, and deviation was punished socially, if not legally. Similarly, in Heian, Japan, women of the aristocracy painted their faces white, plucked their hairlines, and wore intricate layers of robes. Every detail dictated by centuries of imperial custom. Beauty was control and compliance was survival. In other parts of the world, Leaders also used body modification to reinforce power. African chiefs oversaw scarification rituals, marking warriors and nobility with patterns that signified allegiance, bravery, and authority. These designs weren't just decorative. They served as constant reminders of the societal structure and the ruler's dominance over life and status. Religious institutions often reinforced these rules. In medieval Europe, ideals of beauty were intertwined with morality and piety. Adherence to these standards wasn't simply vanity, it was a demonstration of virtue and obedience to the established order. The body became a moral instrument as much as a social one. Across continents, a clear pattern emerges. The more centralized the authority, the more tightly society dictated how bodies should look and move. Pain, restriction, and ritualized modification were not anomalies. They were the mechanism by which power was projected. The body became both canvas and tool for political and social control. These practices reveal a crucial truth. Beauty has rarely been a private choice. From the royal courts of Europe to imperial Asia, from tribal scarification to religious adornment, what we consider attractive was often a reflection of who held power and how they maintained it. Human bodies were molded to signal loyalty, status, and obedience. A silent language of control written into flesh, posture, and ornamentation. As we move into the modern era, these ancient lessons persist. While kings and emperors no longer set the rules, new forces, industries, media, and digital platforms continue to dictate what is considered beautiful. Yet today, the struggle is no longer only about status or obedience. It has become deeply personal, intertwined with identity and gender. The body as identity, gender, third sex, and transformation. While empires and rulers once dictated how bodies should look, humanity's relationship with its own form has always carried a deeper, more personal dimension. Beyond obedience and social hierarchy, the body is also a canvas for identity, a way to express who we are, who we wish to be, and sometimes who society refuses to accept. Across cultures and centuries, people have reshaped themselves to assert individuality, negotiate social norms, and claim autonomy over their most intimate vessel, the human body. Long before modern terminology, many societies recognized forms of gender and identity beyond a simple male-female binary. In India, the Hijra community has been formally recognized for centuries as a third gender. Hijras often undergo rituals, castration, and distinctive dress to signify their social and spiritual roles. They occupy complex spaces in society, celebrated in religious festivals yet marginalized in daily life. Their existence demonstrates that the body is not merely biological, but social, cultural, and spiritual, a means of navigating both power and identity. Similarly, in Thailand, the cat hoi, often referred to in English as ladyboys, embody a spectrum of gender expression. Cat hoi may combine masculine and feminine traits, blurring traditional gender lines. In Thai culture, they are visible in entertainment, fashion, and daily life, yet their status is ambivalent, oscillating between acceptance and marginalization. Cat hoi reveal the tension between cultural reverence for non-conforming gender identities and persistent societal limitations, illustrating how identity can be both empowered and constrained through the body. Even in Western history, body transformation as identity expression has deep roots. Cross-dressing in theater, gender-fluid fashions among aristocracy, and later, the flamboyant styles of countercultural movements, all allowed individuals to challenge norms and explore selfhood. In each case, clothing, makeup, posture, and presentation became tools to negotiate identity, signaling personal and societal messages simultaneously. The body functioned as both armor and statement, a visible interface between individual desire and communal expectation. With the advent of modern medicine and technology, the possibilities for transformation expanded dramatically. Hormone therapies, cosmetic surgery, and gender-affirming procedures allow people to align physical appearance with personal identity in ways unimaginable in the past. Yet these choices are rarely made in isolation. Economic pressures, social ideals, and media influence continue to shape decisions. echoing the same forces that once operated under emperors and courts. The human body remains a site where culture, power, and selfhood converge. What emerges from these histories is a central truth. While societies, religions, and empires may attempt to define beauty and propriety, the body is also a vehicle for autonomy, resistance, and creative expression. Across continents, from India to Thailand, Europe to the Americas, people have reshaped themselves to claim identity, challenge expectations, and assert control over their own narratives. Transformation, whether ritual, aesthetic, or medical, is both personal and profoundly social. As we move into the modern era, these transformations are accelerating and evolving. Technology magnifies possibilities, yet also magnifies scrutiny, judgment, and social pressure. The desire to conform, to stand out, or to redefine oneself has never been more complex or visible. Modern obsession, surgery, filters, and the digital mirror. Today, the ways humans reshape their bodies are more varied and more accessible than ever before. Technology, medicine, and social media have created a landscape where the pursuit of beauty is no longer confined to kings, emperors, or cultural elites. It has become a personal, pervasive, and global obsession. Cosmetic surgery allows unprecedented transformation. Rhinoplasties, facelifts, breast augmentations, and liposuctions are no longer rare or taboo. They are routine procedures, performed on millions every year. People can now sculpt their bodies to fit not just societal ideals, but their own visions of perfection. Yet these choices are rarely made in a vacuum. Beauty standards, shaped by fashion, media, and celebrity culture, exert immense pressure, echoing the control once enforced by empires and courts. Beyond the operating room, digital technology has introduced a new frontier of body modification: the AI filter. In seconds, a selfie can be altered, the jawline sharpened, the eyes enlarged, the skin smoothed. These virtual transformations often feel harmless, even playful, yet they subtly train the brain to perceive a new normal. What was once aspirational has become instantaneous, pervasive, and nearly unavoidable. Social media amplifies the effect. Platforms reward curated perfection. Likes, shares, and comments reinforce cultural norms while promoting comparison and dissatisfaction. Everyone is both observer and observed, subject to the same invisible pressures that have governed beauty for centuries. Yet, unlike historical rituals or imperial mandates, the forces today are decentralized, embedded in algorithms, peer approval, and the global gaze. Modern obsession with beauty is also deeply intertwined with identity. Gender transition, body sculpting, and cosmetic procedures allow individuals to align physical appearance with internal self-perception. The body becomes a canvas for personal authenticity, but it is simultaneously shaped by collective ideals and expectations. Technology has increased autonomy, yet paradoxically, scrutiny and standards have intensified. Humanity's pursuit of beauty has entered a new era, one defined by choice, speed, and digital influence. The tools have changed, but the underlying forces remain familiar: desire, control, and the quest for social validation. As we look to the future, it is clear that our bodies are no longer just biological vessels. They are interfaces shaped by culture, technology, and the enduring human urge to perfect, transform, and be seen. The philosophy of beauty, control, power, and desire. After 5,000 years of obsession, rituals, and transformation, one truth becomes undeniable: beauty is never just about appearance. It is about power: who decides it, who enforces it, and who benefits from it. From ancient foot binding to modern digital filters, humans have always used the body as a canvas for influence, control, and social meaning. Yet this story is also one of resistance, creativity, and identity. Across cultures, people have reshaped themselves not only to conform, but to express who they truly are, challenging norms, asserting agency, and carving space for individuality. Every scar, every transformation, every modification carries meaning far beyond the surface. In our modern age, the tension between control and self-expression has intensified. Social media, cosmetic procedures, and AI filters give unprecedented power to shape appearance. Yet they also magnify judgment, comparison, and pressure. In this global mirror, every like and every comment silently dictates what is acceptable, desirable, or worthy. The pursuit of beauty has never been more personal and never more public. So here is the question I leave with you. What does beauty mean to you beyond the eyes of others? Are your choices yours or echoes of expectations imposed upon you? When you look in the mirror, digital or physical, whose standards are you measuring against? And that's a wrap for this episode of the video. I'm Dr. Panda. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Until next time, take care.